We are almost at the end of the road with the Shy. We're coming to episode number 9, and they dropped the trailer, a little bit more long length, in-depth trailer about what's going to happen to episode 9. We're going to review it. We're going to break it down. Then we're going to make predictions. Here we go.
How you feeling?
I'm on the mend.
I see that.
They say the best way to appreciate your life is to come close to losing it. Could have died up there. Saw my life flash before my eyes.
What'd you see?
All the bridges I've burned, and all the people I've lost. Like I've been trying to prove something to myself my whole life.
Like what?
That I'm a good person.
Are you?
Time will tell. I don't have much of a family. And I've done a lot for yours.
I know.
I was hoping that I could be a part of it.
What you mean?
Jake is the closest I've come to having a son.
He's not your son.
Well, I'm responsible for looking after
Not
him.
anymore.
I think that he could benefit from both of us being in his life.
Miss K, we'll let you get first crack at this. How do you feel about what they're going to be doing in episode 9 and Douda wanting to have some role in Jake's life?
Oh gosh, when it comes to Douda, I'm just like this, because I feel like the Shy has a way of trying to make us forget what people have done. And you know, Douda, he killed 2 of like my favorite characters. So, and I just feel like they're just trying to push that under the rug and make us like him, and it's working for me because I actually do like him. And at some point, I want to feel like he may be a good person, but at the same time, when he kind of like showed his psycho side to Tracy in one of the episodes during that before the gala, when he told her, look, if you can't accept that, move the F on. And he said it in such a calm tone. It was like, oh yeah, the psycho is still there. So I don't know. I guess, you know, what he's saying is that he feels like he almost lost his life. So maybe now he's seeing things in a different light. And I think before he wanted Jake because of a look. And now maybe he really wants to mentor him or really have a son, really be have a family. You know, his mother don't care about him. So I don't know.
Very professionally laid out. That was almost like you was writing a verbal dissertation on my channel. Now, you can't come up here and try to outdo me and Larry. That's all I can say. You can't get the hell on this channel and try to outdo the originals now. But that was good. That was very good. I'm proud of you. Loved it. Big Larry, jump on in there now. Tell us what you think is going to happen with Douda in episode 9.
I think he's probably, first of all, to the brothers out there in the comment section asking where I got my shirt from, I'll post you a link in just a minute. I think Triq is probably going to realize that saying yes to Douda is probably going to be a lot better than saying no. And so I imagine he's going to say yes. He might get a little pushback from Jake because, you know, Jake and Douda left off in sort of bad terms. But let's not forget. I know Douda's done some terrible things, but let's not forget right now Jake is living over there with a bunch of sociopathic murderers too. I mean, our introduction to Triq was him walking into a room blasting somebody and then starting a conversation with the other dude. So I mean, he has killed a gang of people. He just early this season just went and beat a cop damn near to death. So,
Larry, do you feel like they doing what Miss K just said about Douda? How she's saying that they sweeping Douda's predilections under the rug, past predilections under the rug. Do you not feel like the Shy has been trying to do that this whole season with Triq being the hood savior?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're definitely doing that. They are trying to redeem his character in some ways without ever actually bringing any resolve to the terrible things that he's done.
Okay.
Like you can't redeem someone's character without bringing them to account for the ill things that they've done, and they haven't done that with him at all. So, I mean, people know Triq. They know who he is. He's run around killing enough people that he's only going to be in those streets for so long, opening people's doors, trying to be a crime stopper before somebody says, "Oh, that's that nigga," and shoots him.
Or they're going to get Big Mike.
With
You
the
remember
hammer.
Big? I'm gonna say Big Mike from Chella.
But I honestly, I think that when you look at those two, with Jake being with Douda versus being with Triq, I mean, Douda has done right by Jake in a lot of ways. I mean, he brought him into a very nice home and got him into a very nice school and got him away from some of the riffraff that he was dealing with on the streets. And what Triq do? Triq brought in Shad into his home. That's what Triq did. And I mean, so it's like, I mean, are both of them tragically flawed? Yes. I mean, would I want my kid to live with either one of them? No. But to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't want my kid to live with anybody on this show. All of them are. I mean, none of them are good parental figures. Not even. Would you want them living with Nina and Dre?
How about
No.
Papa Daddy?
Papa Daddy just got out of jail, so no.
He just got caught up in something.
He was embezzling from the church.
Right. So when he tries to explain that to you, when you're talking about having your kid live with him, are you gonna hear that? You're just gonna be like, I'll just go to the next person.
Well, on this show anyway.
Look,
Moochella, jump on in there. Now, my comment to you, Moochella, how you feel about Big Mike out there on them streets, stopping people from robbing cars and stuff like that? Since that's your boy, Big Mike, he done got lean. He drinking protein, not eating.
I know, right? He got lean and bulked up, right? I'm just saying, look, with I want to piggyback off of what Larry said in regards to, like, none of them are fit to be parents, but out of the lesser of the two evils right now, I believe it's Douda, because he had some sort of structure in that house when he was home. It just was up until the point when Jake saw him manhandle that dude that was messing with the signs. That's when he never saw that side of him. So he basically it actually scared him. He scared him 2 times, Jake. He scared Jake 2 times, Douda. He scared him when he didn't take his shoes off when he came in the house. And he got in his ear, and he just talked to him like how a man would talk to. He didn't like rough him up, but he put that bass in his voice and let him know who's in charge here. Like, this is my house, and you're not gonna basically do what you think you're gonna do. I feel like with this, if Jake does go back and live with Douda, he's gonna get both sides of a street education and also a business education. So he's gonna have that private school background, the hustler's background, and he's already got that street edge to him. So watch out if he does go back. We don't know what type of person he's gonna turn into now, because you got to keep in mind his brothers was killers.
Right. So to our guest, Miss K, are we supposed to just forget that someone attempted to kill the mayor of Chicago? So I have several questions I need you to answer here. Like, number one, why are we not seeing more news coverage of them investigating who did it? And number two, why is Douda not doing some form of retaliation? I give that to you first.
Oh man, that's a little. I mean, I don't even know how to answer that. My thing is, I was kind of pissed off that it was Laverne. She has all of the reason, all the motive, but I was pissed because I feel like if she were to do it, then she should have finished the job. But
So do you think that she thought she didn't kill him, or what do you think?
maybe she thought she killed. She probably thought she killed him. But my thing was, if you're gonna, she shot him in the stomach. If you're gonna stand over him, shoot him in the head, or
Oh, okay.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure she said, you ruined my life. Now I'm taking yours. Take his life then. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it wasn't vindicated. If someone else should have shot him, basically. I'm not saying I want Douda to die. I don't know why they're kind of like pushing that under the rug. We're not supposed to forget, because I've been wondering too, like, what's gonna happen what's gonna happen with Laverne? Is he gonna send somebody after her, or is he just gonna leave it alone and chalk it up to I mean, if he was gonna chalk it up to the streets, then he would send somebody after her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. No investigation, no nothing. We had, like you said, we haven't heard anything. So I don't know. And another thing is, what about Rose? What is she doing?
Okay. And not only that part, but the police officer that in the beginning of the season, they made it seem like he was going to be a thorn in the side of Douda and the hood. And they haven't connected that story anymore.
No.
Big Larry, what do you think about what the loose ends with Douda, police force, and people attempting to shoot him and no investigation?
Well, first of all, to address Ms. K, as far as Laverne not finishing the job, I think that's a consequence of her being just a regular person, just a regular civilian, and not like a street cat. I think if she was like Imani, or if she was like Snoop from The Wire or something, she would have gone back there and put a couple more in them just to finish the job and make sure it was done right. But I think, like any average person, it probably took a lot for her to build up the courage to go up in there and pull the trigger. And once she did, she was probably, she shot him. She probably was scared to death. At that moment she pulled the trigger, she probably had a, oh crap moment. What did I do? And her thought was, let me get the hell up out of here before I get caught. And wasn't really thinking about, pumping a couple more in him. But from the way Douda sounds, like where he sounds sort of contrite, like I've done a lot of bad things and I'm struggling with, am I a good person or a bad person? I would not be wholly surprised if he just let that go. If he just chalked it up to the game and just said, you know what? She did, I did ruin her life and she came after me. She didn't finish the job. I got shot up and got hurt a bit, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to her. He might send somebody to send her a message that says, hey, you shot him. He gets it. He's not coming back on you. But if he sees your face again, he's gonna have to deal with you. And that might be enough for her to realize, okay, I took my shot. I got my little sense of revenge, and now I'm done with it. But I think he might actually just chalk it up to the game. So
I can see that. Moochella, what are your thoughts on the situation with Douda? People trying to kill him, no investigation. And by the way, don't forget to turn off your mute, Moochie.
Okay, no, because I don't want to be.
But you can't be on mute with dead air when you know how much I love to talk.
Well, with the whole thing with Douda, you know why they're not investigating it, because the way he tried to defund the police. They like, you on your own with that.
Okay.
You on your own. So as far as, I want to know if Douda is going to connect Tracy with Laverne.
So you think?
Because she's the only one that knew he was going up there. And I take that back. Jim's father knew.
Right.
He knew he was going up there too.
Didn't Rosalind know too?
I don't know if Roz knew.
Okay.
Because remember, after they was dancing, they were by the bar when he told her to meet him upstairs.
I mean, but Tracy
go ahead.
But Tracy and what's her name again?
Laverne.
Weren't they friends? Because weren't they both a part of that survival group, survival group? So
exactly.
I'm not going to say this was all planned out, because I mean, if it was planned out, Tracy is really down for the cause by giving up the ghost, giving up them cookies to secure all that confidence in her that he has. But it could simply be that maybe she told him, maybe she said something to her, said like, hey, what are you doing, or what's going on, and blah blah blah, and she said something. Or it could just be that Laverne followed him up there. I mean, it was a public, semi-public, it was an event in sort of a public space. She showed up. She could have just simply followed him up there, Well,
wouldn't it be a jaw dropper if Laverne, Tracy, and Oz was all in on it?
Man, and Jim or Daddy.
Yeah, I swear, I think they all in cool.
See, we're back at the Who Shot JR type story now.
Yeah, but look, at least they didn't drag it out like how they did with the other thing, like.
Right.
That we getting angles of it and all of that.
I
just
still feel like they have to bring some real resolution. They start to bring some real resolution. You can't just parachute Laverne in here. This is the first time we've seen her in like all season. You can't just parachute her in there as the shooter and then dip out. We never see her again. That's just
I know you saw
really,
her the beginning of last season at the funeral, and then that was basically she was getting out of Dodge, and then we never saw her again. We saw her one time at the funeral. And when she said the little comment to Emmett, he was like, "Wow,
They might be waiting. They might be waiting to bring her back next season because word on the street is they already been renewed for next season. So,
I mean, if that was the case, if they were going to bring her back next season, I would have really have rather them left it open. I would have left it where we didn't know who shot her, and then they could have revealed at the next season who the shooter was, because it just, I don't know. I feel like if they're gonna the way they did it, I feel like they need to bring her back at least for one episode, because it just seems weird that they just parachuted her in and then she just dipped out again.
Yeah, they've got a lot of holes they need to fill with that storyline. I guess we'll see where they go. I got one more question for you on the Shy, and this is for Miss K. Now, you can be honest with us.
Okay.
Now, this is probably me and Larry's fault because we tend to start a whole lot of stuff on these internets. Do you or do you not trust Russell Westbrook? Oh, yeah, you knew I was going to ask you this. Do you or do you not confess your trust or distrust of Russell Westbrook right here tonight on this show while we got 90 people watching you? Tell us.
Oh my gosh. I really freaking like this kid.
What? She's down with the Mooch crew.
I really freaking like him. And so I don't want to believe none of it. I don't want to believe the theories. I will be very disappointed. And I think that's doing too much to Keisha. Like, why bring her through all this trauma just so she could fall right back into, like, I mean, come on, some kind of another traumatic situation. But one thing that I do have to say about that is that if he turns out to be, non-trustworthy, he got something up his sleeve, I think it's going to possibly run her to Emmett, the only person she can really trust after a while.
There you go.
And so that's the scary part about it, but that's what I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, you solved the mystery of why we can't trust Russell Westbrook, because they got to have one more barrier to help elevate Keisha's love for Emmett to a relationship type love and not just some homeboy love. Larry, jump on in there and finish this off with Westbrook, and Moochie will come to you because he's your L7 baby.
It could be anything that goes wrong with this dude. It could be where they're like out somewhere or doing something, and he just like sort of loses his temper and snaps at somebody in a way that frightens her a bit. It could be like we were all saying before, that scene, the way they shot it looked like somebody was watching them. So maybe like he has an ex-girlfriend that's there watching, and that maybe that freaks her out, or maybe the ex-girlfriend runs up on him and dude tells her to get back and smacks the crap out of her. Something is gonna scare Keisha off, and she's gonna be like, I'm out of this piece, and she's gonna call up Emmett.
That's right.
And
That's right.
because that's what she does. She calls when things get heavy, she calls Emmett. And when things get heavy in his life, he calls Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's just so weird though. Because then it would just be so weird though now because she's friends with Tiff.
That's not weird.
Such a weird.
That's not weird. Tiff is also friends with she's also friends with old Big Booty. What's her name? Dom. And she's
friends.
Reason why she went and cheated on Emmett and started this whole open relationship thing, and she's up there chilling with her.
And
I mean, you talking about weird. They're on a double date with Dom.
She's friends with baby mamas too. She's friends with one of his baby mamas.
She's just a weird, I'm sorry.
And let's not forget, Tiff gave the business card to Emmett's mom for the male massage hooker.
Oh, Lord.
You know?
Oh, what does that have to do with this?
What I'm saying is Tiff we can't make it seem like this is something weird with Tiff.
All right, we already know she got her little issues and stuff with the whole open marriage thing.
This was before the open marriage thing.
Yeah, but you was already mad at that. You can't stand her.
She was
let Jada get her open marriage blown out, and she's in her final days. Come on, y'all.
He was just trying to connect to Miss K, who is our very good guest tonight. That this show has levels of weirdness.
I'm gonna put myself back on you.
All I'm trying to say is we can't play Tiff out there like she's this nice chick who was just abused by Emmett in some way, or some nice chick who would be strange if Keisha and Emmett hooked up. First of all, Keisha was with Emmett, you know, before he was with Tiff, and then on top of that, it's like she's out there, she's got a whole nother boyfriend and what's his name, Dante, and she's up there trying to get it in with the sex club couple, you know. She's out there doing the mostest. And if Emmett is basically like,
I agree, and he gave her an ultimatum. Oh, so now we gonna see what happens.
I don't want a hoe. I want a housewife, and Keisha's all about that life. I mean, there you go.
He still has to close one door before he open another. If they
closed it, when we heard that ring box go snap, that door closed.
I hope so too. I'm not saying I don't want them to get started and they still are like on the outs. I want it where he has a clean break from her. She has a clean break from this guy, and then they hook up.
They can't. They're not going to have that.
Yeah, you don't know. Y'all all saying he crazy. He might show a crazy side where she like, I'm out of here.
But the thing is that Tiff and Emmett are not going to have an amicable breakup like that.
Why?
Like no, I'll tell you because as we can see when Tiff started to get jealous when they started setting up this open relationship stuff. Even though it was her idea and she was out there having sex with other people, she got real jealous and started putting all these rules and stipulations on what he could and couldn't do when he started getting it in. And now that she's not going to have control over that, it's not going to go well for her. I can see Tiff quickly spiraling. I can see her getting maybe a little weird with Dante, and Dante being like, I didn't sign up for this shit. I just want to have some fun. And now that you're trying to be up under me all 24 more, I'm not down for it, you know? And I just see things spiraling with Tiff, and Emmett's just going to be like, that's on you. You wanted this. You wanted the life that you have. So go live it, you know?
Okay. All right, Mooch, finish it off for us, and then we'll move on to Power.
Well, with this, I feel like if he, I don't think he's crazy. I like this kid.
Yeah,
I don't think he's crazy.
Mooch, I do too.
Y'all was like, he's got widow vibes. So
I like the idea of him.
Mooch,
I like the
kid.
I don't trust him.
I like him. I like what he's about. I like all that, but there's something in this situation that just feels crazy to me. And it could be that chick he just introduced us to. She might be the crazy one in the whole bunch, not him. And because of his situation with her, could run Keisha away. See what I'm saying? So he's a good dude, but his situation ain't good. because of this chick, and out goes Keisha into the loving arms of my man Emmett.
There you go.
Into my man Emmett's loving arms.
With his shirt off.
Right there, just like that. He gonna be cooking her breakfast naked. That's what he gonna be doing. He gonna be baby born for Keisha. That's what he gonna be doing.
But you know how this show is. You know how this show is. That Emmett and Keisha will finally get together. They'll be happy. They'll get married, and then they're gonna show him where he goes to he's gonna be up there at Smokey's, and Smokey's gonna get robbed right after they close, and he's gonna get shot and killed.
Oh, here you go. Come on.
That's how this show goes.
No, and Larry,
his mother's dying.
Larry, the show might not even let him make it past the wedding, because I can see the wedding where he's getting ready to marry Keisha, and guess who's the pastor at the wedding? Papa's the pastor. Then all of a sudden, in the middle of the damn wedding, pop. Papa gets
how
shot.
About this? Yeah. How about this? He's getting ready to get married, and Keisha thinks that he left her at the altar. He thinks that he's having second thoughts and left her at the altar. And really, what it is he got killed.
Jeez, this is sad, guys.
You know how this show is. You know how twisted they are.
You're right, though. You're right, because I feel like what's her name, Lena Waithe. I don't feel like she believes in happy endings. Like if you watch
out for black men that are straight.
Queen and Slim and all that, like you watch different, you don't like happy endings.
Nah, she needs to go. She needs to go visit some of the massage parlors that the people that own the New England Patriots go visit, so she can understand what life is like with a happy ending.
No, she's been there. That's why they brought it in the show. You mean the massage people like they have on the show?
Oh yeah.
Can I say something real quick to back up what Larry was saying?
Yeah, go for it.
I hate to say this. I hate to jump on that train with you guys, but you really do have a point. I'm afraid of when this season finally, when the series is finally over. I am afraid for a few people. But what I will say is I remember the last season when they did what's her name? Tiff and Emmett, they went to a psychic. Remember that? And she did bad reading, and she said to him that the universe don't want you to be happy, or stuff don't look right for you. She said that about Emmett. So you could, be on to something, Larry. Emmett might not have the best ending. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, it don't take Larry being down with the psychic connection to know that if you're a black man on this show and you start doing good, your ending is coming.
Yeah, basically.
Coming quick.
Yeah. So
coming quick.